Welcome to the Dhyana Mahila Chakram, I hope I pronounced it correctly, 11-day event to which you're joining here. My name is Ilona Selke, best-selling international author, and I have been in and around the PSSM movement, and I'm very grateful to have been invited to present to you today aspects that are dear to my heart about consciousness and how we interact consciousness into the 3D life to create a harmonious spiritual life in a day-to-day existence. I want to teach you some very simple and easy steps to remember to where you bring what you would have in your meditation state into your outer life. Before I get started, again, I want to thank PSSM to have me here on this 11-day event between the years, the end of one year, the beginning of a new year. It's a great time for us all to sit down and reflect what did we learn in the last year and where are we going and wish to go in the next year, because everything, including our spiritual life, requires attention, focus, and a wish to expand, for us to expand. Before I get started, I'd like to just let you know a little bit about my background and how I got involved with Patriji and PSSM. And some of you may know me from having seen me at some of the events where I spoke in India. I got started and met Patriji when I did not even know I was meeting him. And this made it so convincing to me that he is the real deal. He's not one of those masters that lives on the glory of the pretense. He is a master that you could recognize with your eyes closed. And I want to share that story with you. I am sure you already are on the path of meditation. And you probably have met Patriji already. If not, you've heard about him. But I'd like to just share this particular story because it gave me reason for hope that there are people who really put forth their truth on this planet. We were invited to accompany a Japanese tour group where we had been teaching a seminar, my husband and I, Don Paris, in Japan. And they had asked us to come on a tour to discover different masters in India. And so we gladly accepted. And we joined a tour group that was going to meet Saibaba, and there was Bali Saibaba, there was Carla Swami. There were a number of different known and unknown figures we were supposed to meet and explore. Some of them were doing healings and Philippine healers, and video cameras had been shown close up, showing people doing miracles. So one day, just after we had come to already see Saibaba, and I was sitting with Saibaba, I was sitting in the large hall. And although I always have had some ashes from his ashram that was gifted to me by a friend at my house, and a picture, just because I might be, it's nice to have company of master beings in my home. I thought, I sat in the audience and I closed my eyes and I thought, if Saibaba comes in, I should know by the feeling I'm getting. I'm fairly sensitive, you could call me psychic. And I sat down and I waited, and suddenly I felt a wave coming from behind me and around me, but it was from the people. And I thought, oh, the people are responding. It was really like a wave. And I opened my eyes, and sure enough, Saibaba had come on stage. Later on, some pictures were made, and even though he came only as close as 10 meters, I was made to look like I was really close up. All right, so that was one of the experiences. Then I went to another ashram, and we were told, this man can manifest things out of his hands. And I was hiding out in the back, in the very back of the hall. I didn't really feel particularly drawn, but this person comes into I have my eyes closed and waiting for him to come in. He's saying in my mind, I will pick you and I will create a starfire, a black starfire ring for you. And I said, really? I don't really like it black. Could you make it blue? And so I'm sitting in the back, and there are lots of other people in front of me, Indians and Japanese and all the people to the front who wanted to be very close. And lo and behold, he says, you there, come on closer. And I'm like, no, no, you. And I come closer, and he proceeds to manifest a black starfire ring for me. And on and on. And so I'm like going, if I got this ahead of my time in my mind, he already knew what he was going to do and probably had it somewhere in his stash of rings to manifest, right? So then somebody said, you know what, you have to see this pyramid. It's in near Hyderabad, in a small place, and you just need to go and meditate in this pyramid. So we go with a small group, maybe 20 of us went there, and we are invited, but we were told the master isn't there today, So we go in and we go like, okay, we meditate, and we enter this pyramid, and it's dark and hot, and we close our eyes, and now it's pitch black. There are some very small light holes for air to come in at the very top. So we're meditating, and somebody starts playing flute. I think that's very nice. I'm listening, I'm meditating, I'm feeling really drawn up, up, up. It was almost like this being, this flute player was saying, come through the top of the pyramid, come up, come through the apex, go, go, go. And it was like coming through the eye of a needle, through the apex, coming out and above, and boing, there I was, out. And then I'm looking down, and he says, now go pull other people up, right? So I had quite the imagination, I had quite a journey. So my husband is there, and we're helping, and okay, so we're all rising. And then I'm like, I'm in this bliss state, and I'm meditating. And so this is imagination or meditation, imagination is going on. And suddenly I'm like wide open to spirit, to God, the divine universe. And bong, I get this flash of energy coming from, and I open my eyes, was in front of me like this glowing light. And I thought, oh my God, that's the flute player. He's enlightened. I knew he was enlightened. It said he's enlightened and had a yellow golden aura. So I thought, great flute player. So we meditate and we keep going, and then it all comes down, and we come back, and we're asked to breathe, and we're going, eventually we're going out, and we're led to sit outside on some sand, surrounded by a wall and some green shady trees around us. And so we sit down, and one of our Japanese people says to this master, who now does show up, and I find out this master with a white beard is called Patriji, and he was the flute player. And I'm like going, the flute player. Good thing nobody told me, because now I had a genuine experience with someone who I thought was just accompanying our meditation with nice flute sounds. So I thought, if this indeed is the master, and that's the experience I had, they really have the real deal here. And he proceeds to be asked, what about masters manifesting? And Patriji says, you don't manifest unless you have to. Unless you need something, not for show, not for a circus event, and certainly not to convince others of a power that you have for entertainment purposes, or even to show off the power that one has. I thought, no, I like that. Now, he says, you need to assume you are the master, and you need to assume you have, basically in so many words, this is 1996, about 1998, somewhere in there. He says you need to assume your mastership, and so he addressed everybody as a master. But he explained that if you imagine that you're still the student, it's like a donkey. I mean, I'm putting my own words to the story right now. It's like a donkey holding the carrot in front of its nose, that goes, I'll get there someday, This feeling of someday, I also learned from the Dolphins. when I was swimming with dolphins, and I wrote a book about it called The Wisdom of the Dolphins. And that book now has also been translated into Hindi and is being translated into Telugu soon. So the book in Hindi is, and I will create it so you can see a flash of the cover, hopefully in this video right about now. It's translated now and exists in Hindi. You can read it in English. It's on Amazon in India, available, all those books in bookstores as well. I describe how I was wanting so much to be close to dolphins. And this wisdom will apply to your life, to your spiritual evolution. Like Patriji says, imagine you are the master. Be the Buddha you wish to be. So I'm going to tell you the story about how I learned this with dolphins and then take it back to the Buddhahood. When I was swimming with dolphins, I was like going, please, 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 be close, be close. But let me ask you, when you ask yourself, let this be a nice relationship, let me find my best husband or wife, let me have this great job, let me be spiritually enlightened, let me be healthy, let this or this be. If you imagine it this far away or this far away, then this is what we send to the universe, a prayer that says, this is how far away I expect that fulfillment to be. Like the carrot in front of the donkey, right? So if I'm in a conflict with a person and I go, I wish we could be peaceful, what am I actually saying? I'm saying we're not peaceful and this is how it is. I am not imagining being already at the point where the donkey eats the carrot, where I am swimming close with dolphins, or where I live in that harmonious relationship, right? In order to do so, I have to do three things, and those are the three things I'd like you to just easily remember. It's three words that you can remember. It's stop, look, choose. Remember the donkey. Stops. What does it really want? Eat the carrot. Look at the situation. Oh, it's this far away. Do I want something different? Yes. The donkey wants to have the carrot and eat it and feel the yummy, juicy carrot on its tongue. It has to, and you and we all have to imagine being the Buddha, eating that carrot, me swimming with the dolphins close by around me. My husband always had the dolphins come closer, but I had the dolphins come like maybe 1.5 meters maximally close to me. And I thought, what is it? And I realized as much as I wanted dolphins close to me, now pay attention, as much as I wanted to, I also was afraid that if they came closer, they'd be too close for comfort. See, in relationships, in work relationships, in romantic relationships, even with our children, we have a feeling of what would happen, even with spiritual enlightenment, what would happen if you already were at your destination, if you already had arrived at what was really your dream fulfilled. Be the Buddha. The donkey eats the carrot. I imagined the dolphin swimming closer to me, and I dealt with that fear first. See, in imagining the dolphins coming this close, like looking at me this closely, I had to deal with the fact that this is a wild animal. Am I safe? So I had to deal with the fear inside of me. And this is the moment where you stop. I went like, oh, I want the dolphins close. Look, they're only this close. Look at what am I feeling about this situation. And you become aware within your system, because your body does not lie, that you feel something that says, oh, I am maybe projecting I am right, or I'm better, or I'm not worthy, or I'm afraid, or I'm angry. Whatever it is that is going on inside of you is the very reason why the situation is still the way it is. So I dealt with my fear of the dolphins, and I described that technique in my book, Wisdom of the Dolphins. that is available in Hindi. And I describe a technique that was developed by Dr. Vernon Wolf. And it's called holodynamics. Holographic dynamic energy. And we can assume that where we put our attention will bring that, whatever it is, higher states, healing, enlightenment, closer into our field. Now, if we have fear in the way, we need to find out what it really wants. And by looking at it, we have a technique in the course Living from Vision, which I describe in the book as well. We go through that technique as well. If you really want deeper training, I recommend you do that course. It's called Living from Vision. I have an online course. You can go to my online pages and find it, myname.com or ilonaselke.com, ilonaselke.online, and you'll find it, or write me. But when you realize that everything, even your feelings, are part of the holographic picture show, then even anger is something to celebrate. Even fear, even non-belief, even the feeling of being only this big. And you take it and you say, oh, there you are. What do you really want? And I asked my fears in regards to not being so close to the dolphins, and I said, what do you really want? And my fear said, I want to be safe. I want to be sure that I am healthy and the dolphin isn't going to do anything to me, and I want to be safe and the dolphin respect my physical integrity. Oh, so what is it if you put that in a positive phrase, like, I am enlightened, or I am healthy, or this part of me is strong, or I am respected by the dolphin and we are in harmony together close by too. Okay, so we're in harmony close by. How would that feel like if you already had that? And this is where you come into the stop, look, choose part. What do you really want? And you choose first by imagining and feeling your choice as if it already happened. As if it already happened. It allows you to cut through time-space, because we live in what the Indians call Maya, the illusionary world. It forms according to our deepest expectations, not only in this lifetime, not only from childhood, but also from past lives, and also the future. Everything collaborates. And when you say those three magical words, stop, take yourself back, give your soul a chance to look at the holographic picture show, Take a look and go, where am I? What is going on? What is inside of me and what is reacting? And what do I really want? And then choose. I choose to be healthy and happy with the dolphins close by underwater. Okay, I feel great. I feel, yes, I can believe in that possibility. I can feel it. And the moment you can feel that energy in your bones, I tell you, down to your bones, down into the very center, people feel it in their spine. When you can enter that state, the moment you do, that reality will start moving into your world. So, I did that with the dolphins. I imagined they're close to me. And as soon as I had another chance to swim with the dolphins in the wild, I never ever swam with dolphins in captivity except one time, and that was the last and only time. I was invited to a conference and they wanted to promote this. They had a lagoon, you know, but with a fence. The dolphins were so depressed. And luckily in India, the dolphins have received the same honorary status as a sentient being, as a human being. And I urge you, wherever you go, please only engage with wild, free dolphins. That is one thing that you would want your mother to be honored with, or your child as well, right? If we took one of them to an alien planet and they were put in a cage so the aliens could go and pet it, you wouldn't want that, right? So that's why we honor the dolphins, and I'm so great. India is the forerunner in this. This happened a few years ago. And wherever I can, I promote the dolphinariums be closed and humans interact in their mind and spirit with dolphins first. You can create incredible healings with imagining the sonar of the dolphin coming to you, all we have to do is, it's a tool, it's an imaginary tool for the divine energy to do the healing within us. But it makes us believe that some, symbol, like the dolphin or a being, can come to us and administer something that makes a change on the energy pattern within us. And then we can come into the complete state. Sure enough, next time when I swam with dolphins, they were coming up to me, close, just like with Dawn. My fear had been transformed into the projection, expectation of being able to have dolphins come close and me stay safe. The dolphins were always going to be safe, but it was my fear that kept them at a distance. Now, let's go back to be the Buddha, be in the enlightened state or in the loving state, be the vessel of light that you wish to be. Be in the capacity and the highest ability that you're capable of shining light, of being in connection with that source. And the reason why it's nice to have a master as an anchor point is because he or she emanate the capacity of communicating from that vibratory state into this dimension where we operate as humans, to where this human mind can get a signal and go, this is how you do it. It's a little bit like, okay, he did it, she did it, I can do it. You copy and you go, okay, it's permissible. And that's what I love about Patriji. He encourages all beings to be the master. Not to kiss his feet, to adore him. Yes, we can, but adore the state that he shows you, the Brahmic consciousness, the Buddhic mind expansion in touching into the divine, into oneness, into however you want to express it. I call it the singularity. Being one with the singularity and moving ever more all of your being, all of yourself into that state, so you resonate as this living expression of light. Now I'd like to ask you, since we are in these 11 days between the year, the last year being left behind, the new year being in front of us, what is it that you learned? What went well? And I'd like you, after this video, if you can, or sometime this coming next few days, take half an hour and write down this exercise. What worked well? What didn't work well? And what did you learn from what didn't work well? Maybe you became aware of what you rather wanted. Yeah? Like, for example, we had the lockdown and I realized how important the mountains are for me. I need to be in the mountains. I need to be in snow. As much as I am right here in Bali, on an island where we have our Shambhala retreat center, right on the ocean, the dolphins come by. I love that. And I need granite, or I need mountains. I need the high terrain. Maybe the whatever yogi in me is still needing the snow line. So in my dreaming mind, that's where I will be as well. I could be there right now, I know, because technically we could leave and fly and I could go through all the rings. Right now, I'm very happy to be here for the transition into the new year with you, and I would just like you to take that half hour to think of what worked well, what did not work well, what did you learn and what did you really want. And when you decipher what you really wanted, I'd like you to also take that into the new year and go, what are 3 things that are really important to your soul? You can make it 1 thing. What are things that are really important for your soul that you want to focus on in this coming year? Maybe you discovered you need more love and connection and you want to express your gratitude or your love more often to other people. Because the most precious thing that we can share on this planet is love. With animals, with humans, with plants, with God. in all that we are. We are the fundamental essence of light and love in expression. So think about that which is important to you. You can pick a project, you can pick a state of being, you can pick something that has to do with other people. You can make those thoughts, let them grow within you as you're coming to the new year. And think about where you'd like to be, maybe more of the Buddha being. And what could you do? What small steps can you do to walk closer to that? That may be, as it already probably is, daily meditation. It could be finding someone, like I do. I have someone with whom I meditate, whether it comes rain or shine, every day for 15 minutes together. And we together are the master beings, and we rise into singularity in our minds. This is outside of Dawn. Dawn and I meditate our morning meditations, but this is an evening meditation that I do with a person. So whatever, it helps me to be accountable, to have someone I practice with. So think of something that can help your inner state to evolve, and maybe it's just practicing speaking your love or dealing with your anxieties or feelings or anger. Maybe something you do once a week. But think of some steps you can take to make this happen. And I invite you to take a look at my book, Wisdom of the Dolphins, both in English or in Hindi, because some very useful steps are in the book of how you can shift into a greater expression of your true spirits. And I'm very grateful to Patriji, who has an incredible ability to sense, to see, to commune. We traveled with him to the pyramids. We sat in the pyramids for 2 hours. It was incredible. It was a gift. The organization was able to get 2 hours time in the pyramids with our group from India, PSSM students who went there. Shriyant and his family went there too. We were very blessed. And I think in a community of spiritual teachers like Patriji, like Shriyant, like Newton, Dr. Newton, we are all working together to help us to remember of who we all truly are. And you are part of that group. We vibrate on this planet, and all these other beings in the PSM movement or in other movements are all aiming at opening up to higher capacities to allow more light and more love through the heart and through their beingness into this dimension. So we realize that this Maya world is as beautiful as we want it to be. What you need to do is take time, stop. When things aren't going well, look, see what's going on, become aware of what you are feeling that is not particularly great. Ask yourself, what do I really wish to feel and become or be? And aim at noticing what that would feel like. Let that fill your heart, your soul, your body feelings, down into your DNA structure. And when you do, you make that choice. That's stop, look, choose. And you then embody for a moment your fulfillment. Instead of having the Buddha or Master experience be far away, it's a feeling of luminosity. It's not a status. It's not like, I am Buddha. It's more like, I am that I am. I am one with the consciousness that is pervasive through the entire universe, expressing itself through you and me. And I honor the Buddha within you and the heart and the love that you are. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being on the movement of spiritual evolution with PSSM on this very special, auspicious time period. Thank you for all those who make this possible, who sit in the background and coordinate all the technicalities. And I'm sending you my namaste from Bali to you.